Reaction Gang, what's good? It's your boy No Limit Nino. Welcome back to another drop from Nino's World. Today we got conspiracies. Hey, look, we're going to believe them. We're not going to believe them. We're going to like them. We're going to love them. We're going to laugh. But I want to be scared. I want to be wild and scared. Like, damn, is that true? All right, so we're going to just run through some TikTok compilations and see if we can find the best conspiracy theory. So let's do it.
You ever wake up with a sore neck?
Hell yeah.
There's this weird theory that whenever you wake up with a sore neck, it's because a demon tried to break your neck. Type shit. If you get goosebumps, even though you're not cold, which I tend to get a lot.
I do.
Bro, I swear to God, bro. It's apparently because several ghosts are looking at you, like at that moment.
It feels spooky as hell whenever I do.
I've always heard the goosebumps one, and I've always heard like if you just get cold out the blue, that girl at the top, her eyes look scary. If you ever get cold out the blue, like a ghost or somebody is around.
Swear to God, bro.
I get them like whole bodies.
I get that sense, bro, in my head that like something's fucking wrong. It's weird because it happens in my house. Like you hear somebody call your name.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there. Whenever that happens, it's a demon trying to like get a hold of me. Yeah, like
I've never heard that one.
I used to have my aunt in the house. She used to be living with me. I think she was calling my name, and then like ask her if she was calling my name, and she'd be like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." Like type shit. And it's creepy, bro, cause like I'll be like, "What the fuck?" Have you ever had a dream with somebody random in it?
Yeah.
Bro, I had this dream the other night, right? Some random kids were and shit like that, and they were like playing around, and like we were all chilling in this car. And then I woke up and I was like, who the fuck were they? Whenever you see random people in your dreams, it's like ghosts that are around you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. So courage to count.
Hey, I don't know about that one, but I do know for a fact I've had some random people in my dream, and it's just like, why are you here? Why are you here? Did I see you somewhere? Are you just a object of my imagination? Why are you here? I understand somebody random from throughout your life, somebody from school, from years you have never talked to in a while, but you've seen them and met them. But just a random person? Why are you in my dream?
Holy dog, right? You remember that shit?
Yeah.
It's based on a true story.
How's that?
You know the house, right?
Yeah.
It's in New Mexico. There was once like two elderly people that lived there, and they reportedly were seeing like a bunch of scary shit, like monsters and shit like that. And they claimed them to be skinwalkers. And if you didn't know, skinwalkers can take on the persona of anything that they eat and chill. Apparently the police went there, the old people were gone, and all they found was the dead dog. It's out of dead hands. Nobody knows it just disappeared.
Eustace.
There's like a theory of like it's about the monuments, the Lincoln Looker, the Washington Tower, and like the Statue of Liberty and all that. And it's like that there's these creatures inside of them, and like they feed on people and stuff like that. And people get like kidnapped and brought to these things, and they're like power the underground systems of like what the top people got going on. Like it's a crazy ass thing, even though it's based on like an alternate universe. It fucked me up, basically trying to say like it's not happening here. There could be very well some parts to it or components that are true.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. This photo shows the scariest conspiracy theories in the world. Now, as I'm sure you know, in this series we're going through from the least scary to the ones that will literally change your life. Now, if you're easily scared, do not watch this, and with that said, let's kick off part 9. When I say this is mental, I mean it. So this is by far the craziest one yet. So today we're going to be speaking about the higher governments. We all know there's a government, you know, you've got your politicians, your presidents, everything. But what if there's someone above that? Almost like the Illuminati. Let's take a look. So this right here is the philosophical theory of Plato's cave. I know it sounds confusing, but stick with me. Basically, take a look at the diagram. So basically the projection on the walls of the media and what we see, we're the people sitting down, and the people behind it are the higher government. So like I've said, that's the theory. So what we're seeing is just the outside, the government. But behind that, what we can't see, there's something higher actually going on. Kind of makes sense? Right, stick with me. Now moving on, we've got this place called Bohemian Grove, which is where high-ranking government officials, politicians and everything go every year. It's a very top-secret meeting, but no one really knows what takes place here. The theory is it is a meeting to do with Illuminati or a higher government. And moving on, I guarantee you did not know this. There is actually a secret passageway behind Mount Rushmore. It's physically impossible to get in because there's this massive slab in front of it, but it's estimated behind here is the Hall of Records, which literally contains all of the secrets of America. Mental, isn't it? There is of course tons
I'll let him finish. Let me let him finish.
of stuff that we don't know and stuff going on in the world constantly. Theory suggests that it can't just be the president and politicians behind everything. So maybe there is some kind of higher government out there. They're controlled by the governments we see, and they are controlled by the governments that they see. Mental, let me know in the comments what you think. Scariest
I don't know about that one. Do I think that it can't be true? Of course it can be true. And of course we all know that there is a higher level of government. They doing shit behind our backs. I don't know. I am a conspiracy theorist. So I believe him. I believe you. I'm convinced.
Conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. Part 11. Today we are talking about time loops. This is mental and very, very
woo.
confusing.
I
So
love
you've
time
seen films
stuff.
such as Groundhog Day, Palm Springs, or Dark or anything. You kind of get the gist of this, but people are kind of stuck in a time loop, reliving the same day again and again and again. Like things like Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day, all that kind of stuff. What if this actually exists in real life? The theory is maybe there is some kind of wormholey, weird places on Earth that connect interdimensionally with parallel universe. Told you it's confusing, didn't I? Now, if you don't know, parallel universes, the universe is the same as ours, but things play out differently. But maybe there are actual things like this out there. So kind of think of it as if like a black hole, but on Earth. And maybe when you enter this, it kind of freezes time, so you're just stuck on your own, almost like in your own bubble, just going through the same day again and again and again. I mean, it's mental and a crazy theory, but I mean, if you think about certain explanations for it, it kind of could be possible. But it's still mental.
These are scary what-if theories. What if everything behind you disappears, but when you look back, it reappears? What if our shadows were warning us about something in the dark because...
Hey. Nah, I'm literally looking at what's behind me. But maybe if I turn around and I don't look at the screen, I don't know. That'd be crazy, though. I mean, nah, that's unbelievable.
as they disappear in it? What if you're the only person left on Earth and everyone and everything around us are just imaginary people and things we've made up so that we don't feel lonely? What if every time you think you hear your name being called, it's actually just your family trying to wake you up from a coma? What if the meteor that killed the dinosaurs was actually a UFO and we're the aliens?
That'd be cool as hell. I mean, think about it. I've heard a whole lot of conspiracy theories like we are in a simulation and we are half human, half alien. I mean, literally, think about it. You could be half alien. You could be a half alien. Literally, right now, you could be half alien. You could come from a different planet. You could be an offspring. Say you got some aliens that skipped school and then ventured off in the spaceship and then came upon Earth and cultivated it and then created people. And man, you're a science project. Damn. What if this is all just a big science project?
These are crazy what-if theories. What if air is actually poisonous? It's just taking 80 years to kill us. What if the reason we can't walk through mirrors is because our reflection is blocking us because they want to protect us from the other side?
Hey, that's creepy. One, I've never tried to walk into a mirror. Two, what if my reflection is like, hey, buddy, trust me, you do not want to see what's on that other side. Shit gets real Diddy-ish on that other side.
What if birthmarks are the places that actually killed us in our past lives? What if dreams are reality and reality as we know it is a dream?
He's also the one who told me about the Bohemian Grove. These are the people that used to hang out at this place, and they would put on robes, and they would worship an owl god, and they would burn an effigy. And they were playing, and Alex snuck in and made video footage of this shit. And then no one's denying that it's real. This really did happen. They're in with these bankers and former presidents, and they're dressed like druids. Yes. And some guy brings over something that's an effigy that's supposed to be a body, a wrapped up effigy. It's also a bunch of sticks in a blanket, but it's like shaped like a body. Yeah. And then they drop it on the fire, and they're all worshiping an owl god. This place where like former presidents go. There's a photograph of it's Ronald Reagan with Herbert Walker Bush and a couple other people all standing around. Like, first of all, Epstein had this crazy place in New York City.
7-story palace.
That the guy who owned Victoria's Secrets, he gave it to him?
Yeah, because of probably blackmail. Bill Gates stays there and tried to deny it, but Bill Gates denies staying with Epstein, but confirmed he stayed there and in his Paris home.
He met with him post his first arrest, correct?
Yes.
Because he was arrested.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Chelsea Handler had dinner with him, I believe, after the arrest, too. I mean, a lot of people looked past that, apparently.
Yeah, that British royal.
Okay, Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein many times despite his past. And where are they getting all the money, first of all? Where's he getting the money to get this island?
He was also the money manager for a guy named Les Wexner, who's a billion.
Hey, like on a serious tip, these guys are rich and freaky. it's crazy. They are so rich, and they've run out of just regular sex missionary behind from the back or whatever they do. They've run out of all of that, and then they're just like, we need to go far left. We need to start getting into young people, kids. We need to start killing babies and drink. I'm trying to tell you, these people are sick. I believe it, and I believe it's the people that are in these high positions, that are higher ups. And, like, I don't know, I feel like they just get initiated, or they go do one freaky thing one time, they go too far, they get it on video, and they blackmail these people, man. And it's very, very sinister, the people at the top.
Who owns Victoria's Secret, The Limited, among other things.
And that's the guy
He was gifting Epstein a property. He gave him a
Right.
70.
Well, that's where he got some of the first money.
You might recognize this painting, The Girl with a Pearl Earring, but did you know the story of this girl is haunting? Her name is Florique Rimjic. She was only 19 years old when Dutch artist Johannes Vermeer painted her. But Johannes wanted the painting to depict an imaginary girl, so he murdered Florique and tried to cover up her existence. He did it very successfully. Many art scholars still believe this painting to be an imaginary woman, but recently Dutch historians have found evidence of the girl's existence through diary entries and other paintings of a similar-looking girl.
That's crazy.
There's huge conspiracy theories about the Denver airport. It's
Oh,
huge.
I've heard this one.
There's giant bunkers for like the end of the world for the elite to come and stay safe after everybody else dies. There's a giant horse statue, and people say it symbolizes the apocalypse and the end of the world because it has bright red glowing eyes. The artist that designed it, during the construction of the horse, a piece of the horse fell off, landed on him, cut his leg off, and he bled to death. And so people say this thing is obviously evil because even the guy who constructed it died from it.
Here's some of the greatest
That's wild. I mean, I've definitely heard the one about that Denver airport. That is crazy. Bunkers for the rich to go and run away from when shit hits the fan. These places have to be real. That's the thing. These places have to be real. All of us are grown. We've been in this world. We've seen the news. We've seen things just with the naked eye that we've been like, yo, this ain't right. The government does that. There have to be secret bunkers hidden in plain sight. It can't just be the president getting pushed off into the apocalypse center. I'm telling you, it's people, it's politicians, it's celebrities, singers, ball players, whatever you feel me, scientists.
Conspiracy theories of all time, part 5. Many families have come to know and love the movie WALL-E, the adorable robot that goes on an adventure through space. Many times throughout the film, it is made clear that WALL-E stores spare parts to fix himself. It's assumed that he takes them from the deactivated WALL-Es since they no longer need them. But how exactly did they deactivate if they are made to roam the planet forever? This theory states that the other robots kept stealing WALL-E's collection of items because they were still in their default programming, much like when WALL-E was reset and did the same. WALL-E eventually got sick of it and broke all of the other robots in various ways, such as crushing them with trash cubes and taking their parts for salvage.
What if I told you that some Nazis didn't die, and some of the worst ones escaped to South America? Let's talk about it.
Heard this one before.
So, it's actually a pretty well-known fact that after World War II, a lot of Nazis and ranking officers escaped to South America so that they wouldn't have to go through the Nuremberg trials. Just to go over it briefly for anyone who might not know or might not remember, the Nuremberg trials were a set of court trials that were held by the Allied powers after World War II to basically persecute the remaining Nazis, or some of the remaining Nazis, for war crimes. But here's where everything gets interesting. So again, for anybody who might not know, during the Nazis' rule over a lot of Europe, there was actually a doctor. His name was Josef Mengele. He was also known as the Doctor of Death or the Angel of Death.
Yep.
But what's fascinating about Dr. Mengele is that he was actually a firm believer, much like Hitler, in the idea of eugenics, or basically creating the perfect race
He
using
loved
really
twins,
fucked
too.
up genetic studies. And there were a lot of people, specifically Jews and a lot of people put into the concentration camps, who were actually subjects of Dr. Mengele. And a lot of what Mengele was trying to do was actually to breed out imperfections in humanity to create the perfect white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed race, to create the perfect Aryan race. And a part of his studies actually involved the study of twins. Dr. Mengele was a firm believer that twins were entirely genetic, and actually later in life and later in the world, we also realized that twins do have a genetic component. if a lot of people in your family tend to have twins, you're more likely to have twins. Or if you're a man, you're more likely to foster the creation of twins. Now here's where it gets really fucking interesting. This place in Brazil, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I can't. It's also known as the Twins Town or the Village of Twins. And like I said earlier, it's a known fact that a lot of Nazis who escaped the Nuremberg trials fled to South America. Some of the countries they fled to were Paraguay, Brazil, and Argentina. What's interesting about this place specifically, though, is that they have an alarmingly or abnormally high rate of twin births in this town for an unknown reason. Nobody's actually been able to say why this town specifically fosters so many pairs of twins. And it's not necessarily a genetic thing because obviously not everybody in the town is related. So there's actually a theory that Dr. Mengele escaped to this place and he continued his research, and that's why there are so many twins, because he was researching on the locals there. But here's where it gets scary. But for me to continue, I have to go to a part 2, and I'm really sorry, guys, but trust me, it's worth it. So look out for part 2.
Alright, I'm kind of bummed because I really wanted to hear about the part 2. But because I definitely heard about the twins things, and it is true, it's completely genetics. Like, my wife has twins all in her family, and we've had 2 sets of twins, so that's definitely true. I'm going to have to go look up that on my own to figure out what's going on, because think about it. Your dad was a butcher, if your grandpa was a butcher, more than likely, you've been in that shop butchering. If your grandma was a teacher, your mom was a teacher, more than likely you've thought about teaching and you wanted to be a teacher. If your grandfather was a Nazi, I mean, listen, that stuff still runs down in the blood, especially, not especially, but in a lot of families that were just like, this is what we believe. Like, just because, you know, the war was over and, you know, the concentration camps were shut down does not mean that that lineage and that information did not pass down. And where are those kids today? Where are those people today? Hopefully that man died and that city is just a big coincidence. But if not, I mean, damn.
Conspiracy is really creepy. So you guys know the Krabby Patty, right? There's a really dark conspiracy of people knowing the formula. Some people think it's actually made out of crab meat. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Notice how the Krusty Krab is actually shaped the same way as a crab trap. Also, there's evidence in this clip of Mr. Krabs.
So that's what I taste like.
If you guys listen close enough, it said, so that's what I taste like.
That's what I taste like.
Maybe that's why Mr. Krabs is always trying to hide the formula.
This dark theory about Willy Wonka will ruin your childhood.
Will it?
Do not watch if you love this film. So we all know Willy Wonka owns a chocolate factory and invites 5 lucky kids to visit the chocolate factory and a chance to win the ultimate prize. But what if I told you Willy Wonka is actually a serial killer? Throughout the film, he tests the kids in all different ways to see who's worthy enough to own the chocolate factory. So the theory is that Willy Wonka is actually a murderer and kills all these kids in like Saw-style traps.
Alright, y'all. Listen, we just bust down some conspiracies. I mean, some of these were alright. The Nazi one might have been the coolest one. What else? The ones about the Bohemian. I forgot what the last name was. But I mean, those seem cool. Double back to the page, Nino's World. Like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more segments where I go do the conspiracies because I really love conspiracy theories. I really want to find some good ones. These were okay. But, yep, it's your boy, No Limit Nino. I'm out.